Hey guys, I just wanted to share a recent DIY project I completed. Basically, I just wanted to refine my steel target setup a little more to make it to where it could be packed in easily to some place that was not really a drive-up location per se. And so essentially, I wanted to just make it as light as possible and and I guess as cheap as possible as well, without having to spend a whole lot of money to do this. So I came to the conclusion that rebar would be my best bet. So I got 3 rebar posts, and then up top you'll see the little L brackets that the rebar slides into, and those are just little aluminum tubes. I happen to just have a old tent laying around that I wasn't using, so I used a little tent post. Any number of things could really work, just as long as they can be reshaped without actually breaking. And then I actually just used a tow hook and hollowed out a little place to where I could slide it on to the top T-section rebar piece, and that's what you see right there. It doesn't probably weigh more than 10 pounds. That's minus the steel target now, and so like I said, ultimately that seems to fit the goal of being relatively portable and cheap and quick to do it yourself. So thanks for watching. Okay guys, now just taking a closer look at the actual hook and rigging that the steel plate attaches to. You'll see here I just took the end of a tow strap that still has the actual hook still sewn in. I just hollowed out a hole in order to slide the rebar through, and if you'll notice, I want to keep it real small so that I don't have this sliding all over the place. So you don't want to open that hole up too much in order to keep the movement limited. But as you can see, I mean, it moves a lot, and that's one of the biggest things that I like in my steel setup is for them, when they get hit, to generate really a lot of free movement, because that's what really gives those loud reports. Whereas it's not as important in close. Once you really start getting some range out there, it becomes much harder to hear your hits, and so the more you're able to generate this free movement from a hit, the more report you'll generally get. So that's just that aspect to it. Okay, here I wanted to show you all a little closer view of the L-shaped brackets that you just kind of fashion yourself. Any aluminum tube will really work. I happen to have an old tent, so I used old tent post. But basically, you just want to be able to reshape it without actually breaking it. And anything that'll meet that should work just fine for you. Okay, I just wanted to take a closer look at this aspect where you just drive these rebar side posts down into wherever the soil you happen to be shooting in. But I wanted to make a note that you're going to want to buy these probably a little extra long than you might think you need, because depending on where you're at, some places might require that you really drive them down much deeper than you might think, and that's why you want to account for that bit. So just wanted to point that out.